It was late, past midnight, on a snowy Wednesday in Moscow. I was alone in my apartment, working late, and too tired to cook. I ordered food from a nearby place I'd used before, nothing unusual. 30 minutes later, I heard the knock. When I opened the door, I saw a man standing there, completely silent. He wore a thick black jacket and a bright red motorcycle helmet, the kind with a black tinted visor. He didn't speak. He didn't greet me. He just held out the food bag with a stiff arm. I tried to joke. Cold night, huh? No answer. I took the bag and looked at the receipt stapled to the front. That's when I noticed something strange. The name on the receipt wasn't mine. It read, Tatiana Vlasova. I furrowed my brow. Sorry, I said. This isn't mine. Still, he didn't speak. He just slowly tilted his head, the red helmet shifting slightly. I looked at the food. It was exactly what I ordered. Same dish, same price. But my name wasn't on it. When I looked up again, he was gone. Just like that. No sound, no footsteps, no door closing. Just vanished into the dark hallway. I closed the door, locked it, and sat at the table. I opened the bag and found everything perfectly packaged. Nothing looked tampered with. Still, I had lost my appetite. The next morning, I checked the news. A woman named Tatiana Vlasova had been found murdered in her apartment, just 3 blocks away from mine, stabbed. No sign of forced entry. The report said that she was last seen receiving a food delivery the night before. My heart sank. The time of death, around midnight. I called the restaurant. They told me the order had been placed through a third-party app, not directly with them. They didn't have a driver with red helmet. I checked the app. No record of my order. I froze. I remember touching the receipt. I still had it. I grabbed it and flipped it over. Scrawled in shaky pen were the words, "Next time, answer with your real name." I moved out a week later. I changed my phone number, stopped ordering food at night. But I can't forget the way he tilted his head. The silence, that red helmet. At sometimes, just before bed, I hear a knock at door, soft, 3 taps. I never opened it, but once I looked through the peephole. No one was there, just a single red motorcycle helmet resting on my welcome mat. Still warm. My roommate Anton had a strange habit. Every Friday, like clockwork, he ordered sushi from the same little shop across town. Midnight exactly. He always ordered alone, always paid in cash, and never let me see the delivery guy. I used to tease him. "What's the deal, man? Secret sushi cult?" He just laughed it off. "Best fish in Moscow," he'd say, locking himself in his room with the food. Then came the night he didn't answer the door. It was a Friday. I heard the doorbell ring at midnight, just like always, but Anton didn't move. He was home. I saw his coat and shoes by the door. I got up and opened the door myself. The delivery guy was already turning to leave. He wore all black and had a surgical mask on, even though it was freezing. He didn't speak, just handed me the bag. I told him Anton was busy, and he nodded once before disappearing into the snow. I brought the sushi into the kitchen. Curiosity got the better of me. Anton always kept it to himself, But now I was just sitting there. I opened the box. At first, it looked normal. Nigiri, rolls, soy sauce packets, wasabi, but something was off. The smell was metallic. I poked at one of the rolls. It was darker than usual. Then I saw it. Inside the soy sauce packet was a tooth. Human, bloody. I jumped back, heart racing. I grabbed the napkin and picked it up. There was something scribbled on the inside of the sushi box in red ink. He ate too much. You are next. I stormed to the Anton's room and pounded on the door. No answer. I pushed it open. Anton was laying on the floor, pale and stiff. His mouth was wide open and blood had soaked into the carpet. His hands were clenched like he tried to claw something out of his own throat. Next to him was an empty sushi box and a second tooth. This was broken. I called the police. They arrived and took the boxes, the tooth, everything. But when I asked about the delivery guy, they looked confused. They said the sushi place Anton ordered from had burned down 2 years ago after a customer went missing. No one ever delivered sushi from there again. No records, no employees, nothing. But every Friday at midnight, the doorbell still rings. And there's always a fresh box of sushi sitting at the doorstep. Last week, I opened it. There was a Polaroid inside, me asleep, and scrawled in red across the photo, still hungry. It was late one night in Moscow. The snow fell softly outside my apartment window, and I was exhausted after a long shift, too tired to cook. I opened the delivery app and ordered a simple meal, nothing special. I used a fake name on the account, like I always do, Misha K. Not because I'm paranoid, just privacy. About 30 minutes later, the buzzer rang. I wasn't expecting anything strange. I opened the front door, and a man stood there in a puffy winter coat. His hood was pulled low, face mostly hidden in shadow. He held out the bag without a word. I took it and said thanks. That's when he looked up, just slightly, and said, "Enjoy, Anton." I froze. My real name is Anton. I had never put the name anywhere on the app. I stared at him, trying to stay calm. "Sorry, what did you say?" He smiled and turned to leave without another word. The door closed and I locked it, heart pounding. I checked the receipt stapled to the bag. It had the fake name, Misha K, just like I used. So how the hell did he know my real name? I called the restaurant. They confirmed the order, but said they hadn't sent the delivery themselves. It had been picked up by a third-party driver. I didn't eat the food, I threw it out. That night, I barely slept. I kept thinking about his voice, calm, soft, like someone who'd known me for years. The next morning, I checked the peephole before heading to work. There was a small, folded note taped to my door. I pulled it down, hands trembling. It read, "I remember your mother's eye." My mother died 20 years ago. I never told anyone this. But when I was a child, she used to sing to me before bed, brushing my hair back and whispering, "You have my eye, Anton." It was something only she and I shared. I filed a report with the police. They checked the delivery app. No record of the order, no driver with that description, no digital trace. That night, I heard footsteps in the hallway, soft, slow. I didn't open the door, but when I checked the peephole again, there was nothing there, just a fresh delivery bag sitting neatly on my mat. I didn't touch it, but I could smell something burning inside. A week later, I moved. Still, every Friday at 10:40 p.m., the exact time I made that order, someone knocked once on my door, just once. And sometimes I hear a voice whisper, "You still have her eyes." I found the app by accident. It was scrolling late at night, hungry, bored, and half asleep in my small apartment in Moscow. It popped up my screen. An ad I don't remember clicking. Just a black screen with the words, "Chef's surprise, one order only." Curious, I tapped it. There was no menu, just one button, order. It didn't ask for my address, no payment, nothing. I laughed, probably a prank or some weird marketing trick. Still, I hit the button. An hour later, someone knocked on my door. I hadn't told the app where I lived. I hadn't entered anything. I opened the door and a man stood there. No uniform, no bag, just a tall, thin figure in a dark hoodie. He handed me a small white box with no markings. Then he spoke in whisper, "Bon appetit." Before I could say anything, he turned and walked down the hallway. I stepped out and looked, but he was already gone. Inside the box was a single meal. It looked normal: rice, vegetables, a few slices of meat. The smell was strange, not bad, just unfamiliar, like something I couldn't place. Against my better judgment, I took a bite. The taste was rich, too rich. My mouth tingled. I felt dizzy, not sick, but overwhelmed, like my brain was struggling to process what I was tasting. Then I blacked out. When I woke up, it was morning. The box was gone. I had blood on my shirt, but no cuts, no injuries. I checked my phone. The app was gone too. Not uninstalled, just never there. I told myself I had a bad dream. Maybe food poisoning. Stress. Until I opened my photo gallery. There was a new folder labeled Chef's Guests. I didn't create it. Inside were dozens of pictures, all taken at night, all showing me asleep. Some from my bedroom, others from outside my window. One photo chilled me to the bone. Me asleep, mouth open, and a tall thin figure standing in doorway, hood up, face blurred. Then I noticed the background of the last photo. It wasn't my apartment. It was a kitchen, blood on tiles. A hand, my hand, resting on the counter. Fingers curled tightly around the chef's knife. I don't remember anything, but sometimes now I wake up standing in front of a stove, cooking. And last night I got a new notification. No app, no sender, just one message. You are the chef now. Feed them.